There's a couple things happening in the NFL world that I'm excited to get your opinion on. John Lynch comes out and says he has always been very upfront with Jimmy G through this whole thing. He also went into the interview and kind of talked about the entire relationship. John Lynch, who's the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers, the same man that traded for Jimmy G out of New England while New England was potentially imploding on top of itself because Tom Brady and Jimmy G were in there. Jimmy G gets traded over to the Niners. Kyle Shanahan teaches him the offense a few weeks. He comes in. Their team stunk. They won all the games. A lot of promise going into the next season because the team was incredibly talented. Now they have a quarterback. He gets hurt like week 3 or something like that. They stink. He comes back. They go to the fucking Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. We're living. John Lynch is happy. High life when he's playing. We're winning. When he was out there one season, we're not. Last season comes in after the Super Bowl, gets hurt. They stink again. John Lynch said, I had to tell Jimmy, like the issue here is when you're not on the field, we stink. Okay, when you're on the field, we're good. You'll have a chance to compete for this job. You could be the long-term guy, by the way, John Lynch told Jimmy allegedly via this entire conversation. But he promised him, like, we're going to keep you on the team, even though everybody's saying you're traded, you're owed $21 million or something like that. This is a very cool thing to see, though, because this is one of those situations that could get very ugly, very quick, very public. And instead, it feels like John and Jimmy have had a pretty good way of handling the whole thing.
Well, John Lynch, I think even if Jimmy doesn't agree with their decision and what they're doing and where the team is moving, like he has to respect the fact if he truly is this upfront with them and lets them know. And we know Kyle Shanahan even said in his press conference, like, hey, we told Jimmy it's his health. That's the biggest issue, not really his play. So if he can stay healthy, he has a chance. But John Lynch, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame player. He gets it. So you'd understand it's probably one of the harder things to do with the job, I would imagine, when you're the GM and you have to make these tough decisions.
It's a tough one. It gets me,
I think
too.
I might have a stroke.
No, don't let it get you.
Okay.
That one will get me, too. There's been a lot of words that have been getting me lately. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, but I'm just saying, John Lynch gets it. And so I'm sure coaches he respected were upfront with him. Even if you disagree, I'm sure you come across guys like that, right?
Well, that's what I was about to say.
I don't like this person. I don't agree, but I respect the fact of how they're coming at me.
And they're always consistent, right? Like I think that is something you hear every player talk about, no matter what the coach is, because there's a lot of different ways to win. There's a lot of different ways to do a lot of things. You can be a full asshole and we have no fun, and that's a way to motivate and drive your players, and you feel like that's the best. And it's not necessarily the most fun to be in that locker room, but if it gets results, it gets results. Then there's the, we're having fun, that type of coach. There's always different ways to do it. But if you ask any player what they like about a coach, there's always be the same person. Always be consistent. Always tell me the truth. And I assume when John Lynch was given this job, he was like, this is what I'm going to be. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be consistent. I'm always going to tell the truth. And I assume whenever you're making that decision before getting the actual job in those positions that you just talked about and those decisions you have to make, I assume the plan sounds good. But then when you get in there, it's like, man, this guy's whole dream is about to get fucking killed. I can't. We think you stink. No, can't say that. We got a better player. Oh, I can't. Oh, it's a numbers thing. It's a numbers thing. We are so sorry. We'll bring you back. We'll keep you in the fold. It sounds like John Lynch has been able to keep his word, basically, of this is what I want to do. I'd like to be upfront. I'd like to be consistent. And I think that's why you're seeing results out there. Now, COVID beat them last year. They got kicked out of their city, and their quarterback got hurt, and they had other injuries. That's another. Yet again, they're primed to almost do what they did a couple years ago, which was come out of nowhere with a very fucking good team.
You would think in Jimmy G, if he is there and he does start the season with a healthy Bosa, George Kittle, not banged up, I mean, they have plenty of talent on that team, so they could be somebody that's pretty scary to look at.
And Trey Lance.
Look out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Look out.
Hey, he could be really good.
Yes, he could. I mean, he definitely has the tools to be. Can he be that good that early? Can he come in like Justin Herbert early on and do that?
They lost a bunch of games, though, because I don't know. They couldn't manage a game at all. But Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, we just talked glowingly about both of them, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody thinks very highly of both of them, right?
Yeah.
Their football brains and everything.
Okay, where are we going?
Well, they felt so fucking good about this guy. They traded, 2 first-rounders or whatever to get all the way up there. They were like, we got to go get this guy. Nobody's going to get there.
Do you think they had Trey Lance in mind? When they made the trade, do you think that Trey Lance was the guy?
Shanahan has come out and said it was. Now, that actually, he would obviously say that. It's like
I would too. And he may have been. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying I wonder how all in they were, like if they were 100% sure, hey, this is why we're doing this, to go get this guy.
Yeah, because if you listen to a couple of his lead-up quotes, Kyle Shanahan said, we had 3 guys we knew were good, so if we got to 3, we were good. Then we found out there was 5. And that kind of, went into the thing. So it's like, okay, we were trying to read that whole thing. And then post-drafting Trey Lance, right, which to your point, they said when we traded up and everybody thought we were going to get Mac Jones or whatever, we didn't have that in mind at all. The entire time we were with Trey Lance, which is good, by the way, an organization supporting the player they just brought in there, unlike fucking Tony La Russa telling his rookie he's clueless after hitting a bomb